So this is a battery, and if you look at it, it comes in its case. So if you take this and if you clip it here, so there's this part and that part, and if you clip it here, you have your case for your battery. So what you're going to do is that you're just going to place it over there. And then you'll be provided with these wires. So the goal of these wires is to allow electricity to flow from this power source to where you want it to go. So all you just need to do is connect it here. And after connecting it here, the next thing that you're going to do is look at this. This is called a switch. So essentially the goal of a switch is to enable you to close the circuit and open the circuit. So what you're going to do is you're going to place it here. You're going to take this cord and put it inside over there. Okay, so the next thing is you're going to keep on doing that with the different wires that you're provided with. So this is the other wire that you have. Again, you just put it over there. Then you go on and go on. And then you have these things. So these are referred to. So let's just put it over there. These are referred to as crocodile clips. The whole point of them is to hold different components or hold different things that you're supposed to hold. So if you put it over here, you're essentially going to make a connection, all right? And after making that connection, current can then be able to flow from one side to the other. So what's the goal of the experiment? Well, the goal of the experiment is that we're providing you with copper wire. So this is a copper wire, and it's going to have a certain diameter, and using that diameter, you're going to measure some area and all those things. So your goal is to see how the voltmeter reading varies with different lengths of these copper wires that you are going to be provided with. Sounds simple enough. So if you have this wire, right, and you want to measure its diameter, because we need its diameter to see how the voltmeter or the voltage reading changes with increasing diameter or decreasing, so you may. So you're going to use this. So if you look at this, this is what we call a vernier calipers. And the whole point of a vernier calipers is really just to help you make these readings much simpler. So it consists of different parts, but what you're going to do is you're going to open it over here. Then you're going to take the object that you want to measure the diameter. If you haven't really gotten the hang of how to use this instrument, I would recommend you watch my other video that goes into depth into how vernier calipers actually works. But for the sake of this video, you just put it over there. Then after that, this is where you're going to take the reading. So I highly encourage that you watch that video. But for this one, it's really how to conduct electricity experiments. And if I look here, this is where I make my readings. I'm assuming that you already know how to make these readings yourself. I'm seeing it's roughly 0.8 centimeters, right? So it's 0.8 centimeters, and I've measured the diameter of this, and I write it down on my piece of paper. So what then I'm going to do is use these crocodile clips to sort of clip onto this copper wire like so. Okay. Then after clipping onto this copper wire, what I'm going to do is now complete the circuit. And the goal of completing the circuit really is to allow current to move from one point and go all the way to the other point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this black wire so that it's a little bit nicer, right? To avoid any confusion, I'm going to take this black wire and I'm going to place it over here. Then after I have the black wire, I'm going to clip it over there. And what I'm going to do is just take this and put it back over there. Simple enough. A basic electricity circuit, we have completed the circuit. So this is what we call a complete circuit. But what's the goal here? What's the goal? Current flows here. It moves, and it goes into this specific thing. So I'm going to use an instrument that is known as a multimeter. And I understand that some of you might not have used the multimeter ever before, but not to worry, I'm going to teach you how to use it. And if you don't understand, there's a separate video again that I created on multimeters and how they work. Highly recommend that you check that out. So essentially this itself is the multimeter, and it consists of this switch, right? And I was careful enough to use the multimeters that you're going to use in your examinations, right? So you're going to use this lever, you're going to rotate it like so, right? And after rotating it, you're going to move it to this mode where you can be able to measure voltage. So it's this mode with this yellow thing where you can be able to measure voltage. In this case, we want to measure our voltage in microvolts. So what we're going to be using is going to simply be this voltmeter here. And to use it really is pretty straightforward. So you're going to take it here. These are just some multimeters that I put there just for fun. So if I plug it in here, and if I take this other thing here, so just plug it in there, and then I plug this thing over there, so I take the other one, which is this one. So after taking this and taking that, taking this, and I plug it over there, I'm going to have my complete circuit. And what I'm going to do is, again, take this and clip it over here so that this is in parallel. So this is what we call a parallel connection. When two things are adjacent to each other. So they're close to each other, sure, but one is on top and the one is on the other. They're not in a continuous loop. If they're in a continuous loop, we would say that they are in series. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this specific thing, once again here, and then I'm going to put it over here. Then after putting it over here, I'm going to take this and clip over there. So this is what I call my complete setup. And what I'm just going to do for here, I'm seeing that is like 3. You can see that the reading is sort of fluctuating, going up and down, up and down, up and down. I have like 6, 3, 3, 5. Okay, so it's settled down at 6 millivolts. So that's the reading that I'm going to take. And what I'm going to do, so I'm just done here. I can just remove this because I have the reading that I want. And the next part of this is just now changing this specific road and putting another road that I want.